Right, but you said, well, when it comes to the draft, men are physically stronger, so it should be men.
Yeah.
And not women. Well, so then should they then be barred from volunteering if they're not as capable? Because that's what you're saying, right? Women aren't as capable.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Well, if they're just as capable, why can't we draft them for military service?
Yeah, honestly, they aren't.
Wait.
We're talking about physical strength. Like, I think that's
Well, let's
not an argument.
You could draft women. I mean, I'm frankly in favor they can go to the front line, but you can draft women and they can perform auxiliary sort of jobs in the military. The military needs paper pushers. There's a bunch of stuff that they can do in the military that doesn't necessarily involve.
Correct. To further this point, for you, Brian, it's something around 1% to 2% of actual military personnel, I believe, who actually fight in any sort of combat situation.
Right.
And that's during wartime even. It's a very low percentage of people who actually fight in combat, with everybody else being in a position of support.
Yeah, a lot of support roles. So.
Yeah, so that's kind of what I meant by equal value. So women can be in a support role, and it's still just as valuable as.
It's not as. It's not.
I don't know if that's as valuable. I don't know if that's as valuable.
In fact, the military itself doesn't think it's just as valuable, which is why they give different ribbons and different medals and different accommodations for people who are in different jobs. They don't even consider them to have the same value. So, for instance, you're not going to get a combat medal if you weren't in combat, for instance. That's how that would work. So even the military does not scale these equally and consider some to have more merit than others, some to have more dangerous jobs than others.
Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying. I'm talking about value more in terms of gender, generally.
Yeah, I don't understand, though, how that would equate. What would the value be? Women can't be deployed to combat. They would be a liability, right?
I don't think there'd be a liability.
You
don't think so? So let me let's pretend for a second. Let us just do a quick mental exercise. There's a tactic which was used often in the Vietnam War, where what would happen is a Vietnamese sniper would purposely wound an American GI in the middle of a field in order to make the other GIs have to go out to rescue them, presenting additional targets for that sniper to shoot. It was a very effective tactic. It's been used in many wartime situations. If you were the enemy and women were on the opposite side in a combat role, would you not stop them and make them scream as loud as possible so that then their side would come out to rescue them?
Andrew, I got to interrupt you really quick.
Just saying, like, if I was in charge of an army and I was facing off against another army that had women in combat, my number one goal would be to capture and then do horrible things to those women and make it as public as possible to demoralize the opposition. Don't you think that would be a highly effective tactic?
It would.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry to interrupt.
We were talking about the draft, so you want to go...
Okay, we can say this is an exception. I'm not trying to argue all for one side.
Mm-hmm. Look, I think we got to draft women, send them to in fact, what would be equity is for the next millennia, women fight the wars. That's equity, right? Would that be equity, Andrew? That's equity?
Yeah, I think so. If you consider social justice to be a priority,
it is social justice.
And the right of wrongs which need to be addressed, then I would say that men, being the primary arbiters of those who have fought all of the wars of the 20th century, would need to be able to stay at home while women went and fought all the wars. I think that's fair. That seems very equitable.
Drizzle.
That way we had a box that was big enough for us to see over the fence and all.
Drizzle. I would, you know what? I would pay good money to see that.
Now, I mean, we would never win any ever again,
No,
but
we
it
will
would still be
gossip,
fun to
we will
watch,
make
right?
YouTube episodes out of it, we will trash the other party's outfit.
We would be great
will,
nurses.
Yeah, no.
We
we will not do good if you have to fight other women, come on.
No, I'm
Wait.
saying we would be great nurses.
up.
Like
Yeah,
nurses,
nurses,
if
yeah,
in the war, we would be great
They
nurses
did
and
that,
doctors.
right? They did that. The women were
Could
nurses.
it be like,
Usually contracted as civilians.
yo, Rat, thank you for the gifted 10 subs. Do you think women should be drafted?
I wouldn't prefer that, but yeah.
So yes.
Yes.
You're in favor of the draft for women?
Sure.
I don't know if you answered yes. Yes. Yes, feminist over here in favor of the women being drafted.
Why are y'all doing that to us?
I'm with you guys. Draft them up, get them drafted.
Brian, I gotta ask you a question though, right? Honest question.
Yeah.
If you were, let's just say that you were like some foreign country who had a draft implemented and you got drafted. And during your briefing, they went, okay, the Americans are sending over their all-female military to deal with us. Would you ever stop laughing? I mean, would you just look at your CO and be like, are you fucking serious? Like, what? If they showed up on the battlefield, do you even think you could fight through the waves of like gut-bending laughter? Do you even think it's possible?
Well, we might be able to seduce the other side into
You would just
surrendering.
strip in the middle of the field. You would just strip.
That'll teach them.
You
That'll
were
teach
like,
them.
oh my God, he's so cute. Let me undress. Oh my God.
Oh, hey, enemy army, we're here to have lots of sex with you. Boy, look, you.
She will
you
take
won
one
that
for the
war.
whole team. She will do the whole
No,
team.
they would wave the white flag right there.
Darling, you will wave your string, or how you call it here.
They would just bang the hell out of all of you and then continue to fight the war again and just win by default, right? Because that's it. They've just won. It's like an instant win.
Where can I
for
Like,
sign?
oh, we don't even have to conquer you and take your women. You're just going to send them over here.
But for the ladies that said yes, that y'all do think that women should be drafted,
Yeah.
do y'all think that that's actually like a smart decision for our, like the country?
I think it's great.
If women want to be equal pay, equal
No, I-
hours,
I
equal thing,
get-
you have to be drafted.
I get
In the
that.
Netherlands,
I get
you
that,
get drafted
you
as
being,
women. So
y'all
yeah.
being
Draft 'em
consistent.
up.
But do y'all really think that like that is the actual smart move to win a war?
Absolutely not. But equity.
I think we did it as women.
Equality.
I think it's our fault. We wanted to have the same thing as a man. So now you have to face your consequences. Get
no,
your
and
shit.
I get that, but again,
In the Netherlands, it's normal. You
like,
get
do
out.
you genuinely think that the best way to protect our country is to draft women or have it mandatory?
Yes.
That's a lie.
You just want to see women fight.
I'm not
Well,
trying to
we have a
fight.
track record for what, like the last 40 years of losing basically every war we engage in anyway. I mean, maybe we just need to switch it up.
We got to
and send the
switch
women.
things up. Try something new.
I'm all for it. In the Netherlands, it's
I
normal.
never expect that tactic. Not in a million years.
I
The
think-
all-female fighting force, no enemy would ever expect such a
We-
tactic.